While biomedical engineering and psychology don't initially seem to have that much in common, there is in fact overlap between the two disciplines. This overlap can be better understood through various types of research areas. Before we analyze these research areas, let's clarify some definitions. Biomedical engineering is the application of math, science, engineering principles, and design concepts to overall improve human health. Applications of biomedical engineering are primarily seen in medicine and biology. Some applications include the construction of medical devices and synthesis of tissue and organs. Meanwhile, psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. There are several branches of psychology, like social psychology and neuropsychology. These branches of psychology can be applied to virtually all aspects of human experience. So, how exactly do biomedical engineering and psychology relate to one another? There's actually quite a lot of overlap between these two disciplines. For example, consumer psychology and biopsychology can both be related to biomedical engineering. Consumer psychology is the study of figuring out why and how to get people to buy items. The underlying mechanism of consumer psychology is compliance, which is when people change behavior as a result of a person or group asking them to change. There are several techniques to gain compliance. Let's consider multiple sclerosis. This is a disease in which the immune system eats away at the protective covering of nerves. Thus, people with this disease commonly suffer nerve pain. Biomedical engineers use tissue engineering to synthesize stem cells that attempt to regenerate the protective covering of nerves. Dr. Craig Walsh of UC Irvine is among the leading scientists in the world on multiple sclerosis stem cell therapy. Within his research, he has had promising results in the application of a stem cell known as neural precursor cells in mice. However, when these stem cells were applied to humans, they were rejected from the body. The lowball technique is getting a commitment from a person and then raising the cost of that commitment. At the end of the day, stem cell therapy is still considered a business, so revenue must be made. Institutions may propose one trial of stem cells to a patient, but if the trial fails, they will continue to administer trials solely to make money. Another application of biomedical engineering is exoskeletons. These machines enable limb movement for people with paralysis, stroke, or limb-hindering causes. With the rapid advancement of technology today, there's a lot of potential in exoskeletons in the future. One of the biggest drawbacks to exoskeletons right now is that they are expensive machines. The door in the face technique is asking for a large commitment and being refused, followed by asking for a smaller commitment. As a marketing strategy to overlook price, a salesperson may ask if the consumer wants to walk naturally on their own. While the salesperson cannot comply, they can offer an assistant machine that will enable the consumer to walk. Biopsychology also relates to biomedical engineering. Biopsychology focuses on the biological basis of psychological processes, behavior, and learning. Analyzing specific parts or regions of the body can yield information on certain psychological conditions, disorders, and more. Electrooculography, or EOG, is a technique used to measure the electrical potential of the eye. This electrical potential is recorded as a signal. Biomedical engineers analyze these signals by utilizing various mathematical operations, such as Fourier transformation. Rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep, is a unique type of sleep that is characterized by random eye movements. By utilizing EOG, biomedical engineers can monitor these random eye movements to track stages of sleep. Then, psychiatrists can make diagnoses like mood disorders based on the changes of REM sleep. Dr. Yang Dan of UC Berkeley conducts research in REM sleep. Her research found that certain types of neurons in the brain trigger all aspects of REM sleep, such as muscle paralysis. This breakthrough discovery can shed more light on REM sleep, which will allow for greater psychological analysis. Biomedical imaging is the technique and process of creating visual representations of the interior body for clinical analysis and medical intervention. There are a multitude of biomedical imaging techniques. Some of these techniques include MRI, CT scans, ultrasounds, and more. Magnetic resonance imaging, also known as MRI, is a common biomedical imaging technique. It's well known for providing detailed images, which are produced by the use of radio waves and magnetic fields. MRI is used for a variety of applications, ranging from neuroimaging to pregnancy and other cardiovascular and musculoskeletal purposes. Psychologists can diagnose certain disorders based on brain mapping from MRI. For example, ADHD is a developmental disorder involving behavioral and cognitive aspects which results in inattention and hyperactivity. A person with ADHD may have an improperly functioning cerebellum, which normally controls balance and maintains muscle coordination. Using MRI for brain mapping can yield more information about several other psychological disorders. Certain parts of the brain control very specific functions, so when a part of the brain is not working properly, a psychological disorder may result. Other disorders that can be diagnosed from brain mapping may be autism, depression, and more. Aside from consumer psychology and biopsychology, there are other fields of psychology that can be related to biomedical engineering. Some other fields of psychology that can be related are neuropsychology and social psychology. In a broad sense, several fields in psychology in some way or another can be related to biomedical engineering. Overall, there are a lot of overlaps between psychology and biomedical engineering. It's quite neat to see how the two very established and distinct disciplines have a lot in common. While psychology and biomedical engineering have different approaches to addressing health, ultimately, they share the same goal in improving health for the greater good.